What's up, observers? You're tuned into the OBSERV Network. I'm your host, Javon Ingram, and today we're going to be discussing the real estate market, the commercial, the residential. Is property values going up? Are they going down? Is this a great time to buy? Stay tuned. You're on OBSERV. Let's go. What's up, observers? You're tuned into the OBSERV Network. I'm your host, Javon Ingram, and today I'm going to be discussing with you the real estate market. Is this a great time to buy? Is this a great time to sell? Is this the best time to invest in the real estate market? A lot of things have happened in the last couple of years in the real estate market, but especially in 2020 due to coronavirus. And it's really changed the landscape in the real estate market. Some people are prophesying doom and gloom in the next few years. Some people are saying, it's not that bad, we'll bounce back. It just depends on who you speak to and what's their agenda, to be honest. But today, I'm going to give you a few facts, a little bit of data, and hopefully it'll help you make a good decision whether it's time to buy, sell, or invest in the real estate market. So let's talk. In my opinion, and I'm not a professional, but in my opinion, it just depends on what side of the coin you fall on. If you are now a seller of a home, this is a great time to sell your home because there is more buyers in the market than there is supply. Due to the fact that there was a shortage in lumber and materials in the supply chain last year, a lot of new homes weren't built. A lot of building projects were suspended. So there is a lot more buyers in the market right now than there is sellers. So when there is more buyers than sellers, of course the price shoots up. So if you are a seller, this is the absolute best time for you to sell your home. Because I'm hearing all over the country about bidding wars where people are getting $30, $40, and $50,000 over asking price for homes. Now, that is great for the seller because this bidding war drives the price up. But remember, the price went up, the value of the home did not. So if you are a buyer, you must be careful because if you purchase a home that's worth $250,000 for $325,000, you have lost $75,000 when the market recorrects itself. That house is still worth $250,000. It is not worth $325,000. So you have to be extremely careful on the buyer's end to not get sucked into a bidding war because you really, really like that house. You can be throwing money right out of the window. But there is a market correction coming with the new homes being built because the supply chain is now back in session. There's more lumber now, screws and materials to build homes, and contractors and general contractors are now looking to build more homes to bridge the gap between the supply and the demand. So new home buyers that were completely shut out last year have more of an opportunity to now buy homes. And if you know anything about the home real estate market, the new home buyers is really what props the system up. So now that the new home buyers will be able to get back in, because the average home, especially in the South, for a new home buyer is usually between $150 and maybe $190. And all those homes on the market were really bought up by investors taking advantage of what we call cheap money. Because the interest rates have been so low for so long, these investors have been coming and taking advantage of this cheap money and investing into properties. So everything was pretty much bought up. But now that the supply chain is revitalized, the game has changed. Now there'll be more homes on the market that will correct the extreme overevaluation of homes. So if you buy too early in this market, you are going to lose the difference here. Your house is worth $250, you're paying $325. It sounds good because you won the bidding war, you got the house that you wanted, but when you look at the numbers, you have lost. So you definitely have to be careful. Let's look at some of the statistics of what's happening right now. Because people are asking me, Javon, well, why is there a shortage in the market? It's because of the government forbearance. The government has, through the CARES Act, have set up forbearance for people that are about to lose their home because they haven't been able to work due to COVID, which I completely agree with. You got to keep people in their homes. I mean, COVID wasn't anyone's fault. So it's important that the government stepped in and did something about it, but it created an imbalance in the market. So homes that usually would have foreclosed or been sold have been propped up and being carried along this entire time. Now, I'm interested to see that it's the data on when the forbearance is lifted, and it is coming eventually. Right now, the government is stating that you can file for forbearance up to June 30th of 2020, and it'll carry you into the following year. So that's a little tidbit for people that want to step into the forbearance. You have until June 30th, 2021 to file for forbearance. Now, if you have a conventional loan, that means it is absent of HUD, the HOA, all the government programs. If you are absent of that and you have a conventional loan where you went directly to a bank and got the loan for your house, most of those loans, they only forbeared for 90 days because that is private lending. Now, the other ones, which the HUD and some of the other government programs, they follow the government protocol, so they have a longer forbearance period. But I still think a lot of people are going to end up foreclosing because it does not cover escrow. So your escrow is still piling up and still needs to be paid. And when its forbearance is over, you still have your bills and all these backed up payments. Now, an escrow account, for those who don't know, that's where a lot of people have a monthly bill, and it takes care of their property taxes, their homeowner's insurance, and a lot of other things that go along with the home. They have an escrow account that money is funneled into paying their taxes and other things that need to be paid. But that is for many people, that is a monthly occurrence, and it's not being paid at this time, and it's going to back up. Utility bills, you can't really forbear those either. So there's a lot of bills that are piling up, and once that forbearance is lifted, and everybody has to get back to business, even the investors that have been taking a hit because they can't evict or foreclose on homes, even banks that can't foreclose on homes, have been taking hits. But that's about to be up pretty soon. Now that we have a vaccine and people are taking a vaccine and the numbers in America at least are going down, we are going to see a reversal in the market. So those houses that were over-evaluated, now that there's more homes coming into the market, because there's people right now that are interested in selling their home, but they put it off because they didn't want people trampling through their homes during COVID. It was just unsafe. So now that there's a vaccine, and now that less people are coming down with the virus, and there's more information about the virus, those people are going to come back into the market to sell their homes. So the bidding war that has taken the prices way up is about to be over. But I am interested to see what's going to happen when everything is lifted and people are free to go about their daily business transaction and activities. Will these investors go ahead and foreclose on most of these houses? Because people will be out of the dark in regards to the virus, but they'll still be in financial debt. The money that the government has put out there, the $1,200, the $2,000, etc., that has not been enough to bridge the gap for the average American family. It's not even close. That's pretty much 1 month's amount of money that they gave everyone. Well, everyone that qualified. So a lot of people have been doing a lot of different things to keep afloat and using their housing as leverage, the homes that they own as leverage to keep afloat as well. They did stop HELOC. A lot of banks now have stopped HELOC. What HELOC is a home equity line of credit, where you can take equity out of your home for repairs or whatever it is that you want to do to keep you afloat. They will fund you the amount of money or a portion of the amount of money of equity that you have in the home. But a lot of banks have slowed down on that because a lot of people are living off that HELOC money at this time, and they are not going to be able to make ends meet when everything comes back full circle, because that bill is going to be due eventually. So one of the things I wanted to bring up too is for new home buyers. New home buyers are in the hardest position right now because the average new home buyer, at least in the South, spends between $150 and $185 for a home. Right now, there is almost no homes on the market for that price because a lot of those homes investors just bought up with the cheap money. So it's very difficult for new home buyers to enter the home buying market. And if you know anything about real estate, your new home buyers are what props the whole system in. New home buyers is coming in, buying homes, and starting their lives is one of the big prop ups of the real estate market. So it's taken a huge effect on the sales and the supply and demand in the market. But there is good news happening. Because of the material shortage of last year, home building slowed down almost to a crawl. You couldn't get a home built in 2020. But in 2021, now that the supply chain has revitalized, more building materials, lumber, screws, tools are more readily available. So I'm seeing a lot of construction companies getting back into buying land and setting up purchasing of new homes. So there's going to be, in the next year or so, a lot of new homes to be purchased on the market to make up for the shortage in supply of homes in the real estate market. So I say all that to say, is this the best time to buy? It depends on what side of the coin you fall on. Is this the best time to sell? Is this the best time to invest? And I hope the information that I just gave you will help you in your journey. This is Javon with OBSERV. I'm out.